Hey guys, so we're going to take a quick break from everything I've been doing on the interior. I'm going to try and get this front clip basically fitted. I may not do all the finish welding to the fender flares, but I want to get them fitted and in the right place, get the hood on, figure out the framework that I need to build to get that hood and the fenders all to sit in the right place. So we are going to tear into that today. I'm hoping maybe this will actually go pretty quick. We're just going to have to put it together, see how this goes. So what you can see here is actually pretty much the factory panel gap actually. And it gets pretty big, even though it's a little tight up here, and gets pretty tight down here at the bottom. I'm not going to do anything about that for right now. The doors need to be adjusted anyway, and until I've adjusted those, I won't know exactly what panel gap I want up here. But you can see we're basically aligned with those factory holes, and they hold it up pretty well. We'll use the nose clip or the hood to determine how to align it this way. And what we need to build is something that fills this void. I mean, that's a good 5 to 6 inches in there, I think. That basically the nose of the Travelall will probably sit at least 3 inches higher than the nose of the Tahoe ever did. Down under here, this is where the Travelall fender ends, and I've got a Tahoe bolt point back here. Probably just going to weld a strap across those to tie those two together to make that part easy. And then of course we'll be removing the entire fender arch so we can move that arch backward and down. I want it at the same height above the tires you see back here. You can see there's quite a bit more clearance here. So I think my first step is going to be mounting and supporting the upper rail here. So I got to find some metal, and then we'll get a strip of metal, bolt it up under the edge of that fender, and go from there. I built this brace. We're going to say that cutout is so that the front end can collapse. That's what that's there for. But I built this brace that would just act as the new support arm up under the fender here. So, we're going to get this bolted in place to the fender, and then see what we need to do in order to make it actually work. I thought those welds didn't stick because I didn't clean it enough. Or maybe just because I was welding blind and at a bad angle. That front cross member is aluminum. So yeah, this radiator support is all aluminum. So my welds did nothing. I do have a built-in threaded point right there, but it's pretty small thread. But I think what I'm going to end up doing then is welding wings onto this that will bolt down. I don't know how else to put this all together, so it's going to have to be that way. And then at least this front radiator support is actually still removable, even if I weld these arms on at the back in whatever fashion. That will keep this radiator support completely removable. So I guess that's my next move. Guess I'll take this apart, weld this all up, put on some flanges, put in a nut cert, and then we'll deal with the back. Well, I've decided if I have to bolt the front on, then I may as well make the whole thing bolt on. So I just cut this little tab here, and I'm just going to weld it to the side, mark a hole to drill. I'll just put a riv nut down in there, and then this can bolt in. Once the fender is off, I'll probably build something on the other side as well. I'd say that's pretty good. So we're putting together the fender support here on the passenger side. I just sort of held it up in place and marked some holes. So I've got some of the riv nuts in, and then I marked where the holes are going to go on the rest of it. And then I bolted in the front of it, and we started assembling that bracket section. So I'm just going to keep moving forward on that. I've got this kind of tacked together, but nothing more. I have now lost that riv nut. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, actually, and get the holes drilled so that I can get the rest of the riv nuts into that, so it can bolt in place completely. Alright, well, no idea what I was doing, but when I rotate this into place, there's enough clearance under that for me to get a finger under, I think. So this is completely wrong. I don't know what I was doing, so I've got to rebuild that now. Sweet. So a fair bit of grinding later. Well, it's not perfectly pretty. It's pretty darn good. I also welded up and ground that other one. So both sides are finished in that way. But there's something else I want to do before I finish these up. Right here, when you look in from under the hood, you can see there's an open space between these, and the Travelall fender will sit here. So this will look through into the fender well, and I just don't really care for that. So I want something there that will eliminate that gap, that will cover that gap. I put in a couple of riv nuts right there, because my plan is to maybe weld, maybe bolt a panel to here that comes down till it's flush and comes across into here. So basically just an L shape that covers all of this. So I've got to figure out what I need to put that together, but I really think that will help finish off this area to look like it's meant to be that way. Alright, so we've got that roughed up bit of ugly right there. And all it's gonna do is actually weld on here. Something like that. And that's gonna be it. I'm not gonna use those bolt points. That was just trying too hard. So I'm just gonna tack this on and then paint it all black and we're good to go. And here you can see the purpose of those panels that I put in. Just blocks it off. That's the panel I installed. It's possible I'll have some vibration, so I may need to add a little something here or there to make it so it doesn't make noise. Although that one seems pretty solid. Weird. I will also have to trim a notch actually up into them right here so that this can go up where it needs to go, up under there. So I'll just trim a notch around that, and that'll just have to be what it is. So we've got these braces basically finished up, ready to take the fenders and get those all bolted in. Next thing we're going to have to take care of is getting the front cross member all rigged up to fit over the front of the Tahoe and to bolt everything back together. So in the next video, we're going to be rebuilding and modifying that front cross member. I want to thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and hit the button. Give this video a like. It helps it out. Anyway, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.